Dear students, today's topic of my lecture, Units and Measurement, Chapter 2, Part 5. So you just see here what you have to learn in Chapter 2, Part 5. The first I will explain accuracy, then precision of measuring instruments. After that, errors in measurement. At last, types of errors. So first of all, you understand the meaning of accuracy. So the accuracy of a measurement is a measure of how close the measured value is to the true value of the quantity. Means suppose you want to measure a physical quantity, and that physical quantity if has the true value. For example, we say that density of water. So the density of water's true value is 1 kg per meter cube. So if the measurement is done and the value which comes close to this value of density of water, then we say that it is accuracy. Now, what is precision? Precision tells us that to what resolution or the limit the quantity is measured. That is called precision. For example, we take, and in this example, we explain the basic difference between accuracy and precision. So you understand this example like that. Suppose the true value of the certain length is near 3.678 centimeter. So if a physical quantity which you are taking whose true value is not given, then what we have to do? We take 5 and 6 readings. After that we take its arithmetic mean, and that arithmetic mean is called the true value of that physical quantity. So here we are taking the true value of the certain length is 3.678 centimeter. Now in one experiment, using a measuring instrument of resolution zero point 0.1 centimeter, means the least count of that instrument is 0.1 centimeter. The measured value is found to be 3.5 centimeter. While in another experiment using the measuring device of greater resolution, say 0.01 centimeter, then the length is determined to be 3.38 centimeter. So in the first measurement by the measuring instruments whose resolution is 0.1 centimeter, the value of length which is determined or measured by that instrument is 3.5 centimeter. So it is very close to the true value of the length. So it has more accuracy. But in the second case, the length is determined by 3.38 centimeter, which is more precise but less accurate because it is measured to the resolution of 0.01 centimeter. So in this way, we can conclude that in the first measurement has the more accuracy but less precision, but in the second measurement less accurate but more precise. So this is the basic difference between accuracy and precision. So from here we can say that every measurement is approximate due to the error in measurements. So understand what is error. So errors in measurement that we can explain here by explaining first what is the meaning of error. So the error is the result of every measurement by any measuring instruments contains some uncertainty, and this uncertainty is called error. Mathematically, we can say that it is defined as the difference between the true and measured value of a physical quantity. That is called error. In general, the error in the measurement can be classified into the two categories. One is called systematic error, another one is called random error. So first one is systematic errors. So systematic errors are those errors that tends to be in one direction, either positive or negative. So what is the actual meaning of in one direction, either positive or negative? So for that purpose, we take one example of measurement done by vernier caliper or screw gauge. So when we perform the measurement by these instruments, then first we have to see whether the zero of both the scale, main scale and vernier scale, in case of screw gauge, main scale, that is linear scale, and circular scale. If they are coinciding, then there is no error. If the zeros are onto the left or right side with respect to the one scale, then the error can be positive or can be negative. That is called zero error, right? So that's why we say that the systematic error that tends to be in one direction, either positive or negative. Some of the sources of the systematic errors are, means in systematic errors, generally we know the reason or the cause why we are getting the error. So first one is instrumental error. The instrumental error that arises from the errors due to imperfect design or calibration of measuring instrument, zero error in instruments, etc. All they come under the instrumental errors. Means if you are using a faulty scale, that is which is not having a perfect design, it is imperfect design, then every time when you measure the length, then always you get the error. Similarly, if you have not calibrated the measuring instrument, for example, when you go to the grocery shop and buy something, and the shopkeeper's balance is not calibrated, then always some error will take place. So that is called instrumental error. Now we take one example of instrumental error which we generally get in our daily life. Although two example I have already given to you. The another example, we say that under the heading of example, first one, temperature graduations of thermometer may be inadequately calibrated. Means if the thermometer which you are taking for measuring the temperature is not perfectly calibrated, then in that condition the error will take place. And it may read 104 degrees Celsius, that is 104 degrees Celsius at the boiling point of the water at STP, whereas it should be read 100 degrees Celsius. So 4 degrees Celsius error is there because the thermometer is not properly calibrated. And second example is that already I explained, in a vernier calipers, the zero mark of vernier scale may not coincide with the zero mark of the main scale. Then that error is zero error, and that comes under the instrumental error. And the third one is an ordinary meter scale may be worn off at one end and still we are using it, then always we get the wrong reading, that is error takes place. Now the second systematic error is imperfection in experimental technique or procedure. Means when we are performing any experiment and we are not perfect and we don't know the exact technique or the procedure how to perform that experiment, but still we do it, then the error takes place, that comes under the imperfection in experimental technique or procedure. That is, to determine the temperature of a human body, a thermometer placed under the armpit will always give the temperature lower than the actual value of body temperature. Then that we are saying it is a imperfection in experimental technique or procedure. And why we are getting not the actual value of the body temperature? Because the other external factors, conditions such that changes in temperature, humidity, wind velocity, etc., and that will affect the readings during experiment systematically. So that's why we say that it is the imperfection in experimental technique or procedure. So that error comes under this imperfection in experimental technique or procedure. Now the next systematic error is personal error. So personal error basically arises due to the individual bias, that is lack of proper setting of the apparatus or individuals careless in taking observations without observing proper precautions. Means when you are performing an experiment and the circuit diagram of that experiment or the apparatus which you have set up for the experiment is not properly setting, so you will definitely get the error, and that error is personal error. And it also occurs due to the carelessness in taking the observations, means without taking the proper precautions. For example, we say that if you are taking the reading in the ammeter or voltmeter, and if your position is not perfect, then you will get a parallax error. Then that is comes under the category of personal error. So for example, we are saying that if you by habit always hold your head a bit too far to the right while reading the position of a needle of the scale. So just I told you that in a meter or voltmeter. So you will introduce an error due to the parallax. So always you get a error due to parallax. So that's why your head is perfectly, your eyes is at 90-degree with respect to that needle. So these are the systematic errors. Now how the systematic error can be minimized? So first one is by improving the experimental techniques, and second one is by selecting the better instruments, means the instrument must be perfect, and third one is removing the personal bias as far as possible. So these are the three methods by which the systematic error can be minimized. Now the second error is random errors. As its name indicates, randomly the error occurs, that is irregularly occurs without knowing any reason. The error is coming, means you are performing your experiment, your experimental technique is totally improved and better instruments you are using, no personal bias is there, even then you are getting the error in the reading, and that is known as the random error. So random errors are those errors which occurs irregularly and hence are random with respect to the sign and size. These can arise due to random and unpredictable fluctuations in experimental conditions, like that the voltage gets fluctuate. So voltage gets fluctuate, then the current also gets fluctuate. So this is the reason. And the personal errors by the observation taking readings, means properly you are not taking the readings, then the error that occurs, which is comes under the category of the random. The next one is least count error. So what is least count? Least count is the smallest value that can be measured by the measuring instrument. That is called least count. The least count error is the error associated with the resolution of instruments. Means by which value, up to which value the instrument can measure the value. So in that condition, the error occurs, which is known as the least count error. For example, we take here A vernier caliper has the least count as 0.01 centimeter. If vernier calipers least count is 0.01 centimeter, then the quantity which you measured in it, if error occurs, then that error occurs because of the resolution of vernier caliper. Similarly, another instrument which we are taking is spherometer, and that has the least count 0.001 centimeter. So using instruments of the higher precision means whose resolution is higher, then in that condition we improve experimental techniques and can reduce the least count error. For example, that earlier we have taken a true value of the length is 3.688, and by measuring one instrument its value comes near 3.5, but by another instrument when we measure it comes to be 3.38. So the second instrument is having a higher resolution, so more precise value you are getting. So in that condition you can remove the least count error by taking the instrument which has the higher precision, and of course by improving the experimental techniques and repeating the observation several times and taking the arithmetic mean of all observations, then the mean value would be very close to the true value of the measured value. So at last you just note down it. The least count error belongs to the random error category, but within a limited size. It occurs with both systematic and random errors. So the least count error that comes under both the categories, systematic errors as well as in random errors. So if you like my video, then like it, subscribe it, press the bell icon, stay safe, stay healthy, learn physics with my YouTube channel by staying at home. Thank you and have a nice day.